All right, how to thread the Huskystar sewing machine. All right, so we're gonna start with our top thread, and in the classroom we use thread bypass. So just make sure when you look at the bypass that the arrow is facing towards the machine. It goes behind the machine, in behind the machine, kind of in the back right corner. So you can see that this loop is lined up with where a regular spool of thread would be. So this is important that this lines up right here so that the pathway to the rest of the threading works out. Okay, so I'm just going to take this and I'm going to follow that. This one is actually numbered, so it's really nice. So follow around number 1, down around number 2. 3 is the take up lever, and it's really important to go the right direction, and the arrows show you. So we're going to go around the right side and around to the left side. Sometimes I just drag my finger there just to make sure it gets in where it needs to go. Okay, and then I just keep continuing down. It says 4, and then an arrow to keep going, and then there's a little hook for the thread. And then every time I thread my needle, I want to make sure it's in the up position so I can really get a hold of it. And then I'm going to put a little bit of thread out from my fingers and then just poke it through the hole, straight through. Once I get a little bit through, then I squish my finger and pull it to the left so I can grab it with my other finger. Okay, so that's the top thread. Now for the bottom. So I'm just going to slide this little button over and the bobbin cover pops off. And we're going to put in our bobbin. This one's already full. And the bobbin cover actually tells you a lot of information. It shows you exactly how the bobbin needs to go in. So letter P is what the thread looks like. And then of course it goes down into these little notches here. So we're just going to drop it in, and we're going to have a little bit of a tail. Stop it with your pointer finger and then pull your thread down into the little notch in the bottom and over to the left. Okay, so it'll be kind of tough to get it through there, but just pull it over to the left. Now, the part that everyone forgets is how to make the bobbin thread come through underneath where it needs to be so it will form stitches. So you're going to grab your top thread and just lightly hold it loosely, and you're going to take your right hand and using your hand wheel, you're going to dip the needle all the way down. Okay, keep turning it towards yourself as the needle goes all the way up, and you can see the thread sweeping across here. I'm going to keep going just until the needle starts to go back down again. Then I'm just going to stop, and then I'm going to tug on the thread that I'm already holding on, and there we go, we have our loop. So I just carefully grab it, pull it all the way through, and then I put it through this little slot right here, and so that the threads are underneath the presser foot and towards the back. All right, now I just got to put the bobbin cover on, and it goes into the left side first, snaps in on the right, and now I'm ready to test my machine. So it's all plugged in already and ready to go. And I'm just going to put my fabric in, presser foot lifter down, and here we can give it a try. Nice and slow. And I'm going to give a backstitch button. Practice. Okay, looks good. Okay. And then once I'm done sewing, I just want to make sure that my needle's up so I can get my fabric out. And it's a good idea to have your needle in the very top position. Otherwise, the machine locks the threads and it won't let you get it out of the machine. So the needle always has to be in the top position. And of course, take up our take up lifter. And here we go. And anytime we're cutting thread, I always cut it a little bit longer because the machine tends to suck it back in the machine a little bit once you start.